Well, hello, I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet, and if I sound sick or look sick, it's because I am sick. Today we saw Wizards of the Coast announce that there was a cut of 75% of the prize purse for the upcoming Worlds event. That means instead of the previously announced 1 million in prizes for this year's Worlds, it will instead be 250k. That means the total prize pool for this year's Worlds event is less than what the first place winner took home alone last year. One of the funny things about this is that Gavin pointed out that in the article in 2019 that clearly states the prize pool will be 1 million is still up. They haven't taken it down. So as of yesterday, prior to this announcement, if you googled Worlds 2021 and prize pool, you would find this article telling you it's going to be $1 million worth of prizes. The post announcing that prize pool also had this first opening paragraph that I thought was quite interesting and I want to share with you. 2019 has been a big year for Magic esports. We created a new level of play and professional support with the Magic Pro League. We doubled the prize pool for Magic, making it one of the biggest in gaming. We added all new ways to play and watch the best strategy game on the planet with the introduction of Magic the Gathering Arena, and the result has been terrific. More people are playing Magic than ever, and the viewership of Magic on channels like Twitch and YouTube has more than doubled in the last 12 months. Magic fans have never had so many opportunities to play, qualify, and watch Magic as they have had in 2019. So this leads me to ask the question, what the fuck happened between 2019 and 2021? Since this post in 2019, we've seen prize pools slashed, we've seen the Greenlit fund that was meant to support the creators on places like YouTube and Twitch go absolutely dormant with a promised 1 million there, fuck knows where that's gone, and the MPL has been announced that it was being dismantled as well. I did a video reacting to that news. Organised play as we know it is over, and some of us were hopeful of a different system coming back where it wasn't a closed league, it was simpler, and perhaps there was some way to qualify into it through smaller tournaments like the old system. So I still have to ask the question, what changed? And before a load of you think you're really smart and grounded and sensible by saying, well Vince, it's obviously the Rona, right? It's the pandemic. Well, that would make sense if you were cutting prize support and funding going into it to avoid spending more money than you're making if things went really badly. But during the pandemic, we had the announcement that Wizards of the Coast made, how much was it? 581.2 million on just Magic alone. And they made closer to 800 or 900 million if we include everything. That's a 27% increase on 2019 for 2020. So it turns out that Rona didn't damage the profitability of collectibles at all, eh? So again, why the cuts? Why dismantle the MPL? Why cut the funding? Brian Kibler summarised it all very nicely in his thread that he wrote when responding to the MPL changes. The most, the one that resonated with me the most and made me really look inwardly at how Magic is and how it's changing was this one. Does it make sense for WotC to pay the MPL to compete when people like Crokies are promoting the game as much or more and making a living doing it without them having to pay him a dime? Streamers and content creators help obsolete the previous model of pros as necessary. Now again, to clarify, that was Kibler's response to the MPL dismantling a month or two ago, not to the current piece of news. He is not too happy about this from looking at tweets and stuff. Although he's not an active pro and wouldn't be in Worlds, other pros who are active also weren't happy about hearing that the prize support was cut by 75% either. Seth Mansfield said, I'm okay with the cancelling of the MPL and Rivals, especially because of the advance notice, but I'm not okay with having a player play an entire year to qualify for a $1 million tournament only to cut the prize pool by 75% at the last minute. It feels like a slap in the face. Andre Strasky said, World's prize pool gutted by 750k, which was expected, but still kind of sad. Not sure how much I'll prep, feeling zero motivation to play Magic in general at the moment, and I'm kind of hoping for a flat payout so I can just skip it. And to elaborate, by skipping I mean sharp with almost zero testing. I'm still going to go to the event. And of course, as I showed earlier, Gavin also pointed out that from the 2019 article there was 1 million, and reminded that WotC had already cut 2.1 million in prize pools for the 2021 season from fear of COVID hit, but instead had record profits and sales since, and is still choosing to not honour their announcement. And companies are allowed to change their approach, their strategy, and that sort of thing. But what changed? Why is Wizards so hostile, I would say, towards the idea of competitive play now? And in spite of being able to change your plans, which is anyone can change their plans, right? You've got people working towards this. You've got people invested in this. You've got people who know that their job is coming to an end with people in the MPL and the Rivals who are still working towards Worlds, and then you're cutting the prize support by 75%. It is a fucking insult. It is hostile. It's openly hostile. There's a very evident irony as well in the fact that Wizards of the Coast will never risk breaking the reserve list promise. The promise that these cards on screen right now will never get reprinted, that they made in a magazine fucking several decades ago, but they will not hesitate in slashing the already announced incentives to play or perform for those at the top of the game. It's ironic, it's fucking tragic, it's wild. So the big change that I'm working towards is that Wizards of the Coast does not give a fuck about the idea of competitive play anymore. I am not surprised either that this has happened, but I think they are spitting in the face of their pros. They're trampling the legacy of the aspirational and competitive play that has gone alongside Magic for its entire lifetime, all because they have realised that Arena and Commander product and Secret Lairs will prop up the company and make record sales. Competitive play used to be an aspirational thing that drew people in, but it's an expensive gimmick now that they no longer need. There is no want to hold on to the strategic integrity or the competitive nature of the game, even as an honourable respect to the game's history, because that won't make the shareholders happy. It doesn't push the profits to record highs. That's capitalism, folks. I know some of you are looking for me to say that, or waiting to say it yourself in the comments because you learned what capitalism is this year and you feel big and clever for saying it. But it is true. They are looking to report record profits, and they've realised that the competitive scene and a competitive track doesn't go towards record profits. They may be profitable, they may engage people to play the game, but it's not worth the money that it costs to uphold. It is so fucking abundantly clear that they want to jettison the competitive scene in its entirety, including any pathway to qualify for larger events, the larger events themselves, the aspirational track that used to come alongside Magic to encourage you to go to events. That whole thing and its relationship to the game, they are binning it completely. It is seen as an expensive investment that yields very little return. And like I said at the beginning of this video, many of us were wondering or hoping or hopeful that post-MPL would have a competitive environment that Wizards would foster that would be similar to the old one, where you could qualify if you spoke to a tournament into the next thing. But I'm starting to be persuaded by the actions that I'm seeing that we're not going to see anything like it. I try my hardest to not be doom and gloom on this channel. But honestly, I think this spells the end for competitive play, supported by Wizards at least anyway. It is obvious that they don't want to spend the money on this. I'm surprised actually that the pay cut wasn't 80%. Maybe 75% is what they can legally do under some sort of contract law that they've already looked into. People are saying that Pro should sue them. I'm no lawyer. I don't even know if that's even realistic. Maybe the 75% cut puts them within a 25-30% whatever yield of what you need to be on when you do cut to not get fucked up in court. Who knows? They are washing their hands of competitive play while simultaneously gut punching all of the professional players they currently have on their payroll who are soon to lose their jobs. It's a wet fisting and it's fucking disgusting. This all sucks. $750,000 being pulled out of that prize kitty. It's a big number, and I think it serves to illustrate that, Wizards don't really give a fuck about this stuff anymore. I'm really hoping once Wizards do wash their hands of it, the MPL is dead, and they don't really announce anything else. They're going to go fucking dead quiet about it and never talk about it again. That's my current doom and gloom prediction for this. I hope that independent tournament circuits and scenes crop up. I hope local stores can get these events on and give people things that have prizes and something on the line to go and play in, because that's one of my favourite things about Magic. I love Commander as much as the next person. How I've probably been playing Commander for longer than the majority of people watching any of these videos. I love the format. But I also like taking a 60 or 75 card constructed deck to an event, trying to metagame the event, know what's coming up, try and guess what my opponents might be on, and then learn my deck through putting reps in with testing or playing on Modo and stuff, and then try and win the event, try and get some prizes at the end of it. And honestly, the legacy events that I've played in England have all been held by Axiom now, all the Legacy Masters stuff. So they have had no support from Wizards of the Coast for those things. So maybe that is the future of competitive Magic, even outside of Standard and stuff with Modern and Legacy and such. I've been Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. I've got a terrible, terrible cold because of my hay fever. I got my COVID jab a day or so ago and it's kicking my ass. I hope you've enjoyed this video. That's a weird fucking thing. I hope you found this video informative. I would love to know your opinion in the comment section below. Do you think I'm being too doom and gloom? Is my health affecting how doom and gloom I'm being? Let me know down below. Smash that bell, like that thing, drop a comment, all that shit. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you all soon. Ta-ta for now.